Welcome to Proven and Probable. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson, and joining me today is Eurasian Minerals Director of Investor Relations, Scott Close. Scott, thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Maurice. Thank you for having me.
Well, always a pleasure. You know, Scott, you're one of the featured exhibitors here at the Natural Resource Symposium here in Vancouver this year and in preceding years. Talk to investors how you gained a position here as one of the exhibitors here.
Well, Eurasian Minerals is unusual among our peer companies here. There's certainly other prospect generators here, and there's royalty companies, but we are really a royalty generator. So it's a hybrid business model where we utilize the prospect generation business model to organically grow our royalty portfolio. So the conventional business model in the royalty space is to write very large checks for royalties. Now, that's a very expeditious way to grow a royalty portfolio, but it's also massively capital intensive. We take a substantially different approach where we utilize our prospect generation business and take those properties that we think have mineral potential, do some basic exploration on those, find enough mineralization or evidence of mineralization to entice another company to come in and purchase that property, and then they are charged with advancing that property toward production, and we keep a royalty on the backside. That way, someone else is funding the development of that property and that mine, and all we want to do is keep a royalty. So it's the business model isn't as expeditious as the writing a big check business model, but it's certainly much more capital efficient, and it's certainly much safer.
You know, one of the virtues I like about what you just explained is that you're basically de-risking the project.
That's right.
And you're not, there's no share dilution in essence what we're having here. What
That's
you're
right.
basically doing is you're finding something that there's a potential here, and you're giving it to someone else, but then you gain the proceeds if there in fact is something there, and that
right.
is not just a proceed as a one-time payment, there's a royalty associated with that.
That's right.
So that's quite interesting and enticing. For someone who's new to prospect generators, this is a prime example of why Rick Rule always shares with investors, have at least a minimum of 10. And one of the premier ones is right here, Eurasian Minerals. Now, I'd like to talk to you about a recent press release 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Malmish in Russia.
Okay.
Share with us what exciting news you have for shareholders and prospective shareholders.
Okay, so Malmish is one of the largest ongoing copper-gold discoveries in the world, situated in the extreme southeast corner of Russia, very close to the Pacific Ocean, and just north of the Chinese border. That project is owned 49% by Freeport-McMoRan and 51% by IG Copper. IG Copper is a privately held company with no underlying Russian ownership. It's run by an American geologist and entrepreneur named Tom Bowens. And Eurasian Minerals as a company has elected to make a number of placements in IG Copper totaling just shy of $8 million. So now we control about 40% of IG Copper shares. Now, what happens in Russia is when you have a resource that you're developing, once you get it to a certain threshold in terms of size, whether that's billions of kilos of copper or millions of ounces of gold, whatever that metric is, then you basically have to put together a resource for the Russian government and sort of a mine plan on how you might develop that, and then submit that to the Russian government for strategic review. So what they do is they want to review that to see if there's anything in there that is so strategic to the country that they would want to gain a vested interest in the project. And virtually all resource projects in the country go through that in the mineral sector. So that's been about a 1.5-year long process. That last Saturday night, we got the news that the Prime Minister, Dmitry Medvedev, had signed off on that, and so now that is in the clear. That's a huge stamp of approval, and that project looks to go forward.
Well, talk about share price. Just when the release was made, share with the investors what type of...
Yeah, our shares went up 25 to 30%, depending on if you're talking in the U.S. or the Canadian exchanges. So, yeah, that was wonderful news. It was a great relief. So,
oh, that's fantastic. You know, as a shareholder, in full disclosure, I am a shareholder, a very proud shareholder. One of the reasons is, of course, is you have the management team, you have the technical team, but you're also very, very good stewards of capital.
That's right.
And that's very important to me, and as well as the share dilution. It's not there.
That's right.
And so for me to receive that type of gain just from a press release, it speaks volumes to what you're doing behind the scenes, because it was a year-long process, in essence, over a year.
That's right, yes, over a year.
So congratulations, and
Thank
for
you.
Future shareholders or prospective shareholders, if they want to contact you and get more information about Eurasian Minerals, what's the best way to contact you?
You can go right to our website, which is eurasianminerals.com, and just look for investor relations or a contact number on there. That's pretty easy to find. And give us a call or shoot us an email, and we'd be glad to respond to your inquiry.
Scott Close, thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable.
Once again, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Maurice.
Always a pleasure, sir. All the best to you.
Thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable. Remember to like and subscribe for more conversations with the most respected names in the natural resource space. Check out our website at www.provenandprobable.com. The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.